wish that I had.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
No, it's not a good point.
Look how enraged this loser is that people are getting value from men more impressive than him and simultaneously, as a result, seeing him as the fraud that he is. CoffeeZilla, you used to be the good guy, but now you just go after winners and slander them and try to make fun of them in alignment with the radical left-wing fringe of people that just hate capitalism, hate winners, hate meritocracy, and ultimately, obviously, hate themselves. You're an enraged narcissist who is infuriated that people are able to see Grant Cardone and watch other people talk about Grant Cardone in a way that doesn't align with your condemnation bullshit. Okay, so I came across this video today, and it's so despicable, it is disgusting. This guy has a YouTube channel that allegedly goes after scammers, con artists, etc. And at this point, his brand is bigger than the people that he goes after. But that's not the problem. The problem is that he used to be a good guy that actually exposed real fraudsters. But as all big YouTubers do, he had to make videos, and he ran out of people to legitimately talk about. And so he started going after, instead of people that are actually hurting people, instead of people that are actually con artists or scammers, he just started going after people that are bigger than him. This guy has 10 million subscribers. So who's there to go after? Not many people. He went after Andrew Tate, even though Andrew Tate is certifiably making tens of thousands of people money through HU. The statistics are public. He's going after Grant Cardone, a certified billionaire on Forbes, who has made his money through real estate, and on top of that is not only teaching people how to invest in real estate. I've learned how to invest in real estate from Grant Cardone, but he's allowing the everyday citizen to invest in his real estate fund and get a return on investment where he mails out checks to people. And what's really disgusting about this is this guy, CoffeeZilla, has been infected with the radical woke mind virus that causes people to deeply, and I mean deeply, resent any person that succeeds in a meritocracy, which is disgusting because this guy did succeed in a meritocracy on YouTube. He has 10 million subscribers, but he's been infected. He's bowed to the woke mob that says you need to go after and tear down all these people that through their sheer excellence embarrass us all. Their success humiliates us. It's the reason why people hate Elon Musk. It's the reason why people hate Andrew Tate. It's the reason why people hate the most impressive people, oftentimes billionaires, in the world, because their success proves, by contrast, how much of a loser they are. Instead of being inspired when they see Elon Musk, they get upset that people can use free speech to disagree with them. I was thinking of saying, it's infuriating, it's repulsive. Truly, the word that comes to mind is just disgusting the way this guy acts. He starts the video by saying it's essentially his moral responsibility to lie and slander Grant Cardone's name because it's been a long time since he's done it before. And this is not the CoffeeZilla that should be, that the world should be seeing.
Because I found a leaked tape that goes against his plan pretty hard. Now, I want to first show you the clip of Grant Cardone saying that he's going to sue all the haters, the clickbaiters.
That's not what Grant Cardone said. He said that he's going to sue people that libel him. So he's already being disingenuous. This guy feels as though, and he's right, that his audience isn't interested in facts or coherence. And that's really the biggest problem, is he's not serving truth anymore.
It's got to be stopped. How's he going to do it? Ladies and gentlemen,
see, it's lazy thinking. It is. I recognize this happening years ago. This lazy thinking, this anti-intellectualism, this uninterested state in objective morality is distinctly leftist.
Decided to sue people. This is a post he put out. He sued John Legere, I guess is his name. He is the ex-CEO of T-Mobile for $100 million, all because the guy called him, what did he say? Go to the New York Post.
He slandered him. Let's see if he provides that. What I detest is people attacking excellence because they're losers. I detest people despising meritocracy because that's worse than despising truth itself. That's despising the mechanism that allows people to make progress. And there are millions, tens of millions of people that are struggling every day to make progress. And then there are people that just attack the entire process because they're such losers. They're such deformed freaks with the resentment of Marxism, with the resentment of the radical left that they would tear down and attack anyone without any regard for morality. And by the way, this is the guy that went after Logan Paul. He's done some good things, but he ran out of videos to make. He started attacking people he shouldn't have attacked. He started going after people that weren't scammers, that weren't con artists, and it became a hate party, a hate mob of woke leftists that just hate capitalism. I guarantee that's at least 30% of his audience.
Man and a BS artist, and he's
Yeah,
not
calling
worth
someone a con man is serious. That's not just an insult. That can be argued as libel for sure.
But this is the part I was concerned with. Deeply concerned, guys, because I have a lot of videos on Grant Cardone. He says, additional warning.
And his tone is mocking. It's not serious.
All YouTubers, influencers, podcasters, moderators, hosts on audio platforms, including guests on live or recorded social platforms, anyone who seeks to damage, blah, 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 must be stopped.
Okay, see, the internet has accelerated two dichotomies, which I'm going to explain really quickly. It's accelerated dichotomy of a bunch of losers that can get together with anonymous anime profiles and complain and really just honestly be losers together. They perpetuate this loserdom, this mindset of anti-meritocracy, a hatred for any person that succeeds. And then there are people that go on the internet to learn things. The people that go on the internet to watch Grant Cardone explain stuff about real estate. There are people that go on YouTube to watch Elon Musk interviews. The people that go and watch Jordan Peterson talk about psychology and take notes. The people that listen to podcasts of the most impressive people, the most impressive men in the world, and learn from them. And then there are the Discord communities, anime profiles. Isn't this guy a fucking loser? He's a billionaire, and meanwhile, I'm an anonymous troll in my underwear. But yeah, he's the loser. I have 57 followers. He's a loser, right? I've seen it. There's this really weird overlap in the gaming community when you go on the gaming community Discords, and then you find these dark pits of insane hatred for capitalism. It's crazy, with anime profiles everywhere, and they're like posting memes of, oh, let's dox Kyle Rittenhouse. It's just really crazy stuff. That's this guy's audience now. He's been taken over by these people
from their vicious and damaging libel. Now, so we're here to talk about that, but I also want to use this chance because
to mock and slander Grant Cardone again, and then claim that, oh, little old me, 10 million followers isn't doing any damage. Dude, Grant Cardone doesn't even have 10 million YouTube subscribers. This guy has literally succeeded in a massive meritorious competition on YouTube. And I'm applauding him because I'm not a hater like him, but he's literally a hater to people bigger than him. Isn't that insane? Bro, as I grow on YouTube, I will never become this. And I never have hated someone for being successful. That is the most cringe thing the world has ever seen. Hating someone for being successful. When I look at Elon Musk, I get inspired. Bro, he was my home screen for a long time because this guy's so impressive. But there are people that look at Elon Musk and look at their shitty lives and think, this guy stole from me. This guy, as he created multiple verticals and multiple industries from nothing, like space travel and electric cars, he took away from me. I can barely afford my cat food, but this guy stole. Like, it's crazy. These people are lunatics, bro. But those are the people that cheer this guy on for going after people that aren't con artists. He doesn't go after con artists anymore. Go back to going after Logan Paul for scamming people, bro. Oh my god. Even Forbes acknowledges Grant Cardone as successful for being good at real estate. You understand that?
And I feel like it is actually...
And then there's, of course, the angle, too. And this is going to be the last thing I say before I unpause it, guys, is that if you go and go on the internet and are interested at all in truth, it's very easy to discern what's real and what's fake, I just want to say. I've never been scammed by anyone. I've never lost money on the internet doing anything like that because it's very easy to tell who's real and who's not, who's created results and who hasn't created results. And Grant Cardone has created results. If you care about truth at all, you can't ignore that fact. The guy has thousands of apartment buildings. He knows how to do real estate. Again, I've never lost money on the internet doing anything like that. I understand there aren't people as smart as me or as diligent or as interested in truth, but this is pandering to the unthinking, resentful, hate-filled mob that is the leftist hating capitalism.
Really time to remind the internet who this guy is, because every couple years the internet's confused, and I'll show you proof of that as well.
Right. Every time the internet's confused, that they forget we have to demonize all the successful people.
But I've got two things on my side. One, we're coming with supporting evidence today. All the videos will be here.
Oh, right? Evidence this time. We're bringing evidence, God.
We'll show you all the posts. But also, Grant Cardone actually...
He laughs like a gremlin because he knows what he's doing is not intellectually honest, but he doesn't care because he's pandering to an audience that has taken over his mission. His mission now is anti-capitalism, anti-successful person.
Yeah, to sue people like me because he actually says that his haters drive him views. Well, why does that matter? Now, I actually think
his haters do drive him views 100%.
He was coping and seething in the video. But the reason this matters is because in order to do
why would you be happy about that? See, you're just hating him because he's more successful than you. You have 10 million subscribers, but he's a billionaire, okay? So why would you take pleasure in the fact, even in a delusional state, that you'd be making someone uncomfortable? That's just so stupid.
Since you actually
Leftists are actually mentally destroyed. Again, I've seen it in these like gaming communities where you go and it's crazy. But again, this video is still just existing to bash Grant Cardone. For what?
Play that clip. Bruh, you're the best. I'm just going to say that's why I feel advertising the fact he's going to sue people who talk about it, right? Because I have my get out of jail free card. I do not recommend this to the vast public because you guys haven't been told by Grant Cardone how great you are for him. So that's just that. I think you all should know that. So, you know, I'll do this for you. Don't worry. I'll take the heat.
Who do you think he's talking to right now? He's literally saying, don't worry, guys. He's finally going to defend himself. So there could be consequences to our slander and to our immoral practices. But I'm going to keep going. I'll take the heat so we can keep lying about him. He's talking to degenerate, resentful leftists. They hate capitalism right now.
This is what I worry about. What happened?
Okay, this is disgusting right here. This is the reason why I decided I had to talk about this guy. Listen to what he just said.
If nobody's talking about him, what happens?
Dude, people are talking about him. He's going on podcasts, getting millions of views. He went on that podcast with the English boys just like, a couple weeks ago, got millions of views. He's still getting hundreds of thousands of millions of views on his YouTube channel. What you mean when you say no one's talking about him is no one who agrees with your anti-capitalist, anti-successful guy's sentiment is talking about him. Oh, it's been a while since we've slandered this guy. These guys literally like ride around in hate mobs saying no one's talking about him. And the other reason why that's so despicable is because it's saying that any person, the only people that count are the ones that are hateful. The people that are getting value, the people that are learning, the people that are enjoying his message, those don't count as voices. That's what really got me. It's like, who do you think you are? That is exactly in keeping with the Marxist ideology of demonize any person that goes against our ideology so that we don't have to contend with what they have to say. Also, in postmodern neo-Marxist thought, it says the individual doesn't exist, only group identity. He literally just outlined that without realizing it. Group identity is his group identity of people that, we have to ride around hating people. I'm picturing, people from a Quentin Tarantino movie where they're riding around on horses with torches. He's a part of a hate mob like that. The left is not tolerant. The left is not inclusive. The left is hateful and discriminatory. The left is resentful beyond comprehension. They hate successful people. Why else do they go after Elon Musk? I remember a time when Elon Musk was the greatest hero of the liberal because he was creating electric cars. In 2014, 2015, he was like their hero. But then all of a sudden, he gave a voice to people who they disagreed with. And then we got to see how inclusive they really are. But this is all to say that this radical leftist agenda that has taken over even CoffeeZilla has utter contempt for any person that were to disagree with them. Because he just said the only voices talking about Grant Cardone are the ones hating him. But that's not true. Grant Cardone is getting a lot of positive attention, and he didn't acknowledge that. It's because to radical leftists, there is no such thing as any individual that disagrees with him. This is why they're dangerous.
The people who do talk about him totally misrepresent what we all hate about this guy.
What we all hate, right? Because any person that doesn't hate him isn't a human. Any person that doesn't hate him isn't with us. Oh, dude,
this
so
is
weird.
A recent podcast. Alex Hormozy gives his opinion on Grant Cardone.
He probably hates Alex Hormozy too, because he's another self-made guy in capitalism, hyper successful, and teaching young men. That's what really bothers these people, is they teach young men how to succeed as well when they've already decided. These losers that make these videos and these hate mobs filled with leftist resentment have already decided that they're going to remain losers. So when they see people trying, when they see people, worse yet, succeeding, it infuriates them. It enrages them that the people that they despise because of the impressiveness that they embody make other winners that also embody the way that these losers who are resentful have failed. It enrages them.
Says about Grant Cardone is so goofy, so ridiculous. It is straight out of the "he's just a hater" book. Anyway,
that's not analysis right there. That is anti-intellectual leftist drivel.
You've worked with Grant Cardone. And a lot of people on the internet.
By the way, both of these guys right here are really impressive people who have helped a lot of men and are successful in their own right. So just these faces are going to, I already know, enrage the leftist psyche to no end.
About it.
This guy's interviewed Andrew Tate, interviewed Jordan Peterson, the list goes on.
But as people who have worked with him directly, what was your experience like?
So, for context.
So he goes on to talk about how he did a call with Grant Cardone.
He's going to skip the part of the video where Alex Hormozi talks about his personal experience with Grant Cardone, because his personal experience would provide the side of it that shows Grant Cardone as a human, as a good person. Leftists aren't interested in that. Leftists aren't interested in looking at you as a human or a good person. If they disagree with you, or more like if you disagree with them, then you are to be dehumanized, so they don't have to contend with what you have to say. That's literally what they do. And you never see them debate ideas, because if they engage in logic and reason, then their entire edifice of ideas comes crashing down, because it's built on resentment.
Stuff like that. It's just sort of his personal experience. But the stuff I really wanted to talk
Sort
about
of his personal experience. That's what he's asked. That's what he was just asked about in the video. That is directly relevant. But you just want to demonize Grant Cardone.
why people hate him.
Find, right? And especially stories and
Why are you
experiences.
only interested in why people hate Grant Cardone? Why aren't you interested in how Grant Cardone has helped millions of people? Dishonest actor. This guy's just a leader of a hate mob.
Like, they're the most valuable things, because if I have a story, I can get the lessons from the experience without having to go through it. And so I always think those are the most valuable things.
And by the way,
of all.
I also know that the deformed loser, riddled with resentment, is absolutely infuriated to see a guy worth $100 million with a supermodel wife next to him talking about how another billionaire is a great guy and how he got a lot of value from him. Everything about this image right here enrages the radical leftist that is resentful of competence. Everything about it. Oh, he has muscles, he's more impressive than me, he goes to the gym, he's more disciplined than me, he succeeded in capitalism, I have to tear down the system that he's engaged in because otherwise I feel horrible about myself, and reminded that I actually am an individual even though my ideology tells me that individuals don't exist, which therefore reminds me that my entire ideology is a lie and I've been lying to myself and I've been wasting my life. All of that gets told to these leftists when they see an image like this.
And but yeah, I mean, I think people will hate anyone who's very big.
I was going to say, what do you think? What do you think it is that causes people
He's
to have
polarizing.
this?
He's super polarizing. I mean,
What? He's just big, and he.
By the way, CoffeeZilla is acting like a leftist now. He has that super shallow, anti-intellectual psyche, and rather than provide actual analysis for ideas, he's expecting to use emotional attacks almost desperately against anything that he hears that triggers him, that goes against the ideology. That's what I mean by triggers. That's why he wanted to fast forward to this part in the video. That's the reason why he's responding to this, because Alex Hormozi is completely correct. People hate Grant Cardone because he's successful and embodies the way that all these anti-capitalist freaks are losers.
He's just polar. Okay, what does that mean? Let's hear.
and he makes very
He couldn't even understand what he said.
strong claims. He talks about money. A lot of people just hate anyone who talks about money. He has money. A lot of people hate people who have money.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Look at this. He made this video for this reason. He made this video because he's enraged by this sentiment that is being perpetuated. The leftist psyche is ultimately narcissistic, as well as being driven by resentment. They're narcissistic because they think that they should be the only ones that get to control the narrative. And he is aware that Grant Cardone is getting millions of views of supporters, millions of views of people that are learning from him and receiving a positive message. He's aware of that. He lied earlier. I know he's aware of that because he's on YouTube. He sees these videos. He knows about it. But he thinks the only people that should be able to talk about it are the haters. The only people that should be able to talk about it are the ones that hate capitalism. The only legitimate voice is a voice tearing down Grant Cardone. There's been too much support. There's been too much positivity. There's been too much value created and acknowledged surrounding Grant Cardone, and it enrages the losers. It brings them out of their caves to shriek and throw things at the big impressive man. Oh my God, isn't it so difficult to look at? Oh my gosh, impressiveness. That's what they're like, losers coming out of their caves.
Nobody dislikes Grant Cardone because he has money.
That is the reason why you dislike him. That is the reason why you are infuriated and triggered by him, just alongside with your audience. If not, your audience is probably even more ravaged and destroyed by resentment, because I see how these people are on Twitter.
This is the year 2000 level of analysis.
See, emotional attack, no analysis here, purely ad hominem, purely insulting. Watch.
Like, why do people hate us? They don't like us because we have money.
The irony is so insane. You've been attacking this guy for no reason. He's created endless value in real estate. He's helped millions of people learn real estate and become inspired to take action to better their lives. You, on the other hand, have created no value, and so you feel insecure. It's so despicable because the resentment is uniquely Marxist, uniquely communist.
No, that's not why. And I'm here to
Purely emotional. He didn't have any argument there. Listen to that.
year 2000 level of analysis of like, why do people hate us? They don't like us because we have money.
I have a video coming up that is going to explain the total dichotomy that the internet has produced between essentially thinking people that are interested in truth and just pure sheep that are ruled by the woke mind virus and unable to use their reasoning faculties. What he just did there is an admission that his audience is made up of the latter, because this other camp would not have tolerated what he just said. There's no validity to anything that he just said at all. He just used an ad hominem attack, emotional framing, and then moved on like that was sufficient. It's not sufficient.
No, that's not why.
Look at this pathetic guy. This is how all leftists are. They're feigning smugness while being ultimately triggered. This is why they're miserable. This is why they make videos attacking people. This is why they make videos attacking billionaires. They're ruled by their resentment for reality itself.
Are very old, so maybe no one watches them anymore. So maybe people are buying this. Like,
See,
oh,
there it
maybe
is
they
again. There it is again.
Set the record straight, because I guess, you know, these videos that I've done about this.
Right, these videos that I've done slandering Grant Cardone didn't put him away. Oh, people are still looking at him as legitimate because people are seeing me as a liar. That's what infuriates him too, because nothing enrages a leftist like being seen as the frauds that they are, because they can't compete in the marketplace of ideas. They don't provide any value. They are purely driven by resentment and hatred. And so as soon as any person sees them as frauds, there's no going back. There's no winning that person back because you can't convince them that you're right. The only thing you can do is say that they're a bad person. So when people are watching Grant Cardone, despite the fact that this guy recorded videos in the past going after Grant Cardone, slandering him, making up lies, making fun of him, using emotional attacks, using ad hominems, and people are still watching by the millions on every single podcast that Grant Cardone goes on, it wrecks these guys because they're like, wait, they're not listening? They're not listening to me? This is the architecture of the leftist ideology here. He's infuriated that people see him as the fraud, which is ironic considering his channel was made to go after frauds. You've become the thing you sought to destroy. And now you're a joke. You're a husk of yourself.
Very old, so maybe no one watches them anymore. So maybe people are buying this like, oh, maybe they hate them because they're haters and they just don't like people with money. But I'm here to set the record straight. Please, don't believe this.
There's no argument there. He didn't make an argument. What?
Or even worse, believe the idea that people hate Grant Cardone because Grant...
The other thing that happens with that is that you cannot...
This guy, CoffeeZilla, watched this video and was so radically triggered at the way Grant Cardone is being purveyed here. He decided to make a video complaining about how people weren't watching his other videos and condemning Grant Cardone and the numbers that he found sufficient. He decided to make a video crying about the fact that people are learning things from Grant Cardone and not viewing him as a fraud and a con artist and all the other ways that he tried to present Grant. And he's also complaining about how those people are simultaneously seeing CoffeeZilla as fraudulent.
It causes people to feel uncomfortable seeing somebody that's that certain about anything because it shows into very harsh light.
Look how uncomfortable he is right now. He also knows that inordinate numbers of young men come and watch this guy. He's thinking right now, oh God, people are listening to this guy. People see me as a fraud as a result because I lied about Grant Cardone.
I don't believe anything that much. And this guy's talking about something which is pretty aspirational with that degree of confidence that I...
Right, Grant Cardone is a winner, and that enrages losers.
Wish that I had.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
No, it's not a good point.
Look how enraged this loser is that people are getting value from men more impressive than him and simultaneously, as a result, seeing him as the fraud that he is. CoffeeZilla, you used to be the good guy, but now you just go after winners and slander them and try to make fun of them in alignment with the radical left-wing fringe of people that just hate capitalism, hate winners, hate meritocracy, and ultimately, obviously, hate themselves. You're an enraged narcissist who is infuriated that people are able to see Grant Cardone and watch other people talk about Grant Cardone in a way that doesn't align with your condemnation bullshit.
Let me break this down very simply. The reason actually
Oh,
people
God.
hate Grant Cardone is because he's a grifter.
Dude. Did you hear his tone right there? Did you hear his tone? He's acting as if the people that are talking to him are infants. And that's because he's trying to do two things. Talk to his audience, which is primarily made up of infants, and talk down to and condemn any person that wouldn't agree with his emotional, ridiculous ad hominem that he's about to construct against Grant Cardone. People are now seeing him as a fraud. Man, I bet that's a really deep neuroses for this guy, because he started his channel to expose frauds, and now people see him as a fraud. That's got to be deep.
Is because he's a grifter. What do I mean by that?
Grant Cardone has created billions of dollars of equity in real estate. What are you talking about? It's on Forbes. It's got hundreds of millions of views on YouTube. See what I mean about how leftists can only retreat and double down on their incoherent nonsense? They can't argue. They can't make sense of the world. They can only demonize any person that does make sense of the world. And that's exactly what you're seeing here, because he can't contend with reality, because reality shows that Grant Cardone is reaching millions of people a month, imparting tremendous amounts of value. People, especially young men, are learning from this guy left, right, and center, learning about real estate, learning about marketing, learning about 10X, getting inspired, because Grant Cardone has like 17 different companies. What you're seeing here is pure neuroses, pure narcissism, pure resentment, and it is distinctly radical leftist.